Texas is what's known as energy independent, a system that's now under scrutiny as millions went without power during last week's storm.
My apartment is under 40 degrees.
Here's a big picture look. The state operates its own power grid, and ERCOT, a nonprofit agency with government oversight, keeps the grid running. Power is moved from the grid to homes and businesses by what's called TDUs. Oncor is Texas's largest TDU, and it serves the majority of the Metroplex. Today, they updated shareholders, reporting a net income of $713 million for 2020, adding that they're working with lawmakers and investors to improve the grid for future storms.
Right, we're the company that's investing in grids, we're investing in storage, and we're a big part of the solution today. I think you look at where the market's going, I think we've got the wind behind ourselves in terms of our investment thesis.
Oncor making it clear they were told by ERCOT to cut power and save the grid on the 15th and were allowed to resume normal operations 2 days later. During the worst of the storm, the company says some 1.3 million customers were without power. I'm Sebastian Robertson.